is Steve Norman in the house.
Calling Steve Norman.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thursday.
You're first on the agenda.
Huh?
Legislative report.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not legislative chair.
You are now.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. President. Does Crystal have 2 blank code of conducts still?
Probably. Do you need them?
Yeah, because Greg can go ahead and sign this before we leave out.
Oh, good.
And
Yep.
Curtis.
Yep.
Yeah. And I asked Greg.
She'll
he
be
said
here in
yeah,
about 15 minutes. And
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So if you could just text her, my
but yeah,
phone's buried.
you'll be first on the agenda.
Okay.
We're gonna pray. Invocation by Keith Tim. Then we're gonna have Jimmy give an announcement, and then we'll have you do the legislative report.
Okay.
Okay.
God, I wasn't ready for that. Okay.
Just fake it.
You trust me, I will be. Hell no. I definitely will be doing that. Make it to you, make it.
Uh-huh.
Did you have a good evening?
Did.
Good,
We had
good.
I don't know when we got back. 2 in the morning. 3 in the
We didn't go
morning.
upstairs till like 2:15.
We knew it was gonna. I mean, we knew we were gonna be back late. But.
Yeah, I mean we were up till 3 the night before, 2:15. So yeah,
Yeah.
we actually got a good group and we're playing cards.
Y'all play cards?
Yeah.
See,
We had
man,
a
I need
nice-
to play with y'all sometime.
We're cutthroat, so you know.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna slide this mic over if that's okay. Oh, watch out, Christine.
There you go. Hold on, let me get my camera. There you go.
There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. According to this great National Federation of Blind of Tennessee affiliate.
Yeah.
Keith Tim, if you would step to a microphone and give our invocation for the morning.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Keith Tim Anderson here. Let's pray. Dear Lord, we just are so glad to be here together. Thankful that we can come together and just talk about our lives and how we can make it and do great things in this world, and encourage each other. And I just pray, Lord, that you would bless this morning as we talk about different things and hear different reports from committees and chapters, and pray that you would help us to learn how to work together well, that we can encourage each other along life's way and just find ways to make a difference in this world and help each other out. And just help us as we make decisions this morning about different things or and about the coming year and what we're going to do. And just pray that you would give us wisdom. And thank you for all that you've done this weekend, that you've just helped us as we have just come together as a convention. And it's gone really well, Lord. Thank you for that. And please bless everyone who has come, and even those who weren't able to be here. Pray that you bless them as well. Pray that they can be with us maybe next time. I pray for the membership, that the membership will increase, Lord, that you would give us that fire that we need to be able to reach out to those around us who need the NFB, who need what the NFB has to offer, independence and courage and strength and just the NFB has so much to offer, Lord, that people need that they can see that they can make a difference in this world and that their lives matter.
Yeah.
And that you have things for them to do to help others, and that we're not lost. Thank you, Lord, for all that. And we ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Keith Tim. All right, we're going to have Christina Cliff to come up and tell us about our legislative work and what directions we're going to be focused on here over the next year. Evelyn, are you
made
there?
it. You want to do a door
You
prize?
think it's time? All right. Door prize.
All right, I'm a little drought. I had gotten it. Oh, there it is.
I have a 6-piece votive candle holder set. And it's going to. Jenny Owens.
Not here? I don't think
Not here.
No, it's a Sunday morning. Go be quiet.
we'll be here for a while.
Matt Connor.
Cromer?
Cromer.
Yeah, hey, Mac.
Oh, scholarship winner! Hey, the blessings should be coming down.
Draw again.
Leslie Howell.
Draw again. Oh, you here?
Oh, there you go. All right.
All right.
One more?
Another $15 Subway card and a basket of chocolates and coffee.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah.
And it's going to. Jeff.
Mesmore?
He's not here.
No, Jeff?
No Jeff.
Yolanda Bowers.
Oh, there you go. And she was going to give up on us because her name hadn't been drawn. So see, Miss Yolanda, it was meant to be.
All right. Go ahead, Red C.
Thank you, Miss Evelyn. So, as you guys heard about, we had a great time at Washington Seminar, and we talked a little bit about that yesterday. As recently I've been told I'm doing the legislative report, I'm going to do my best to give you some good information. And hopefully, if there have been updates since then, our national rep can assist me into getting that out there. So our first one was the Affordable Technology Act, which is a great piece of legislation that was being advocated for by members that were attending Washington Seminar. What is the purpose of the Affordable Technology Act? Well, it's to ensure that individuals who need assistive technology get a tax credit on their taxes in order to help reduce the cost. Because as many of you know, that assistive technology that we got from VR, that we needed to get employed, or sometimes for some of those that are working or who are in the process of looking, need that technology to be successful. And we know that VR is not the speediest service in the state in terms of procurement. And that's putting it mildly, because you got to justify it and then get the quotes and everything. So the Affordable Technology Act would say, okay, we know you're expending these funds because of a disability, and we're going to ensure that you get a tax credit back the next year to reimburse some of that cost. So that would be a really good one that would help a lot of individuals, especially if you're setting up for a fancy note taker or braille display, just saying. The next one is the Marrakesh Treaty. It's another piece of legislation that we've been advocating, unfortunately, for many years, and I say unfortunately because it shouldn't take the United States of America to be one of the last countries to sign on to the treaty, which would basically say, share books across borders. Don't enforce those national copyright laws, so that if a book in the United States needs to go to somebody in Africa, that a border doesn't say, that stopping at the US border prevents them from being able to access that piece of literature. We also advocated for AIM High. Does anybody remember what AIM High stands for? Oh, our chapter leader's got it.
Instruction material.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, accessible instructional material in higher education, right. So that's to ensure that our students have access to instructional materials in a timely fashion. In other words, instead of getting their biology book 4 weeks into their semester, which by then it's 1/3 of the way over, they get it at the same time as their sighted peers. And I think that that would greatly improve your educational experience in college, don't you think, Shannon? Yeah, see, there you go. All right, Shannon must not be in the room. Can't pick on her today. And our last one was a bill that unfortunately since then has been passed in our great legislative, with our great legislators in Washington. And its purpose was to say that we, as the National Federation of the Blind, did not want the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Access Reform Act, passed. And what it basically did was it stripped away some of the protections that were afforded under the ADA. So what would happen sometimes is you would have an individual with a disability, regardless if it was a visual disability or physical disability, encounter a business or a program or a service that was being offered that was not accessible to them. Under the previous, before this law was passed, they could give notice and then file a lawsuit. Now, it's on the burden of the individual to fix the problem and gives the businesses more protections in terms of, oh, well, they have to wait 6 months until they actually file a suit, and then it's up to that person to find under statute, under the ADA, what was actually wrong. So it took some of the protections away, and that's a step backwards in terms of civil rights, not a step forward. So as an organization, we're not in support of that, and I will say, luckily, our representatives here in Tennessee were also not in support of that bill. However, the rest of the country did not follow our awesome lead in that situation. So those were the 4 pieces of legislation that we were working on in Washington Seminar. We'll probably carry some of those through to next year, so stay tuned. And I would encourage you guys to, talk about legislation. I know it's not the fanciest and the most exciting thing to talk about during a chapter meeting. But it's one of those necessary evils you got to do to make sure that the opportunities and rights you have today that you will have tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Christina, this is Terry. Can I say?
Sir, come on.
I don't mean to correct you, but I don't think that ADA passed the Senate.
No.
Oh, my correction.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It passed the House.
But not the Senate.
The Senate did not pass it, so therefore.
So far, it's still dead. Okay, good deal. See, I stand corrected, y'all. I'm learning.
It did pass the House.
It did pass the House. Okay, my bad. Any questions? All right, hearing none. Next person.
Right. Actually, I trying to find my microphone here.
Door prize, Jay?
Door prize?
Actually, 2.
2 door prizes.
We have some. Thank you. We have some fudge up here that Shannon, would you like?
Oh my gosh.
And take that back there to Evelyn, because she can pair that with some
Okay.
10 pounds of fudge.
Oh, my.
She can pair that with some door prizes back there. It smells great.
He's like, I can't afford the pounds right now. And that's what that was.
I'll take the just pass it around.
So, Evelyn, you gonna give a door prize?
Yes, I have a $25 gift card for Walgreens.
Take this.
Oh, no.
Get your hits.
And a $25 coupon, and it goes to Alicia Whitehead.
Snooze your blues.
Jerry Smith.
Again? Wow. He's racking up this year.
Terry, was it you that made the joke about picking up your insulin and walking? I think it was. All right, so you want more, Evelyn? or-
Yeah, another $25 lift coupon, and a gift bag.
Oh, I need lift for lunch. Come on.
I need to go home.
Michael Quinn, Michelle Quinn.
She's not here. She went back home
She went
yesterday.
home last night, okay.
I'm here, Evelyn.
Oh.
I'm here. Me too.
Madison Dixon,
Who?
There you go.
Dixon.
I'm still here, Miss Evelyn. I'm here too.
She hasn't visited the season forever. I'm just saying.
Just take the roll call.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, she's not here.
Do we have a quorum?
Yes, yes.
Just kidding.
Jeremy Davis.
No. Keep on pulling.
Jeremy Davis.
He just left.
James Brown.
Oh! Ask and you shall receive. Now you got that right home.
Put my guide dog in the vehicle, see what happens.
There are some more stuff.
Lots of survey. NFB.org.
She said she's got
/.
She's got 4 more too.
She said she had,
Not 4 more. He has 4 more. So,
4 more what?
door prizes.
Only 4 more?
Yeah, not right now. Just letting you know.
All right, we've kind of got. I think we're kind of picking up a little pet project here. You know, sometimes one of your members gets an idea and has talents of his own, and starts doing something good, and then, you know, we as an affiliate start to go, well, you know, maybe how can we help with this? Because this is a good thing you're doing. So, Jimmy and Wendy Bay have been doing what's called You Can Give initiative, and you know, we kind of take it for granted sometimes because we can, you know, we can just get on NFB.org, we can fill out a form for a free white cane, and we can get a cane given to us by the National Federation of the Blind. And that is a tool of independence that we can access at any time, and it really doesn't cost us anything. But in other countries, they're not so fortunate. Many times they've never had a cane. A cane could cost as much as what they might make in an entire month or an entire year. You never know. But so I think, Wendy,
Yeah.
are you going to talk to us about that, or is
Yeah,
Jimmy actually?
and I can make this quick, but I think it's helpful and it's inspiring to hear from some other people around the world. So a year and a half ago, Jimmy made a video, or actually it was last year, but a 30-second video that someone found in the Philippines. And this gentleman emailed Jimmy and said, I need a cane. I've been blind for 7 years and I've been using this stick, but this long stick gets very difficult to use on public transportation. Can you guys imagine that?
Oh, yeah.
So he said, and it's obviously breaks, so he has to get, so this man said, could you send me a cane? And Jimmy replied, he said, yes, I'd love to send you a cane. And 2 days later, he said, 14 more people in my area need a cane around the Philippines. And so I'm gonna read just a couple statements from the people who received them. So this man took it upon himself, and I'll read this. He said, it took me more time than I expected to gather the photos. So he went around and hand delivered each of the canes and took pictures of each of the people who received. This is one story. We've had, people in Africa and people around the world. And he said, some of them rarely have access to the internet, so I'm emailing on their behalf. And he said, I also wish to travel to different rural areas in the Philippines to look for other people who are in need of white canes, and I hope you will continue to support us. Here's some messages. Let's see, really quickly. This man, one man, Art Letim, whose schedule is so tight attending advocacy conferences, he promises to take his cane with him wherever he goes. I like that. Another special education teacher, she said she can now put her old cane that's broken away, and she can use her new cane serving in her school every day. One said it was like a birthday present. One of them said, and they said they all agreed that only a cane can make them effectively to work in their community. One singer, Andro, he's a singer, and he said he'd love to take his new companion, his cane, up on stage with him. So proud. Another one said this, he said, As for myself, he said, I'm not an experienced cane user. This cane will help me get back and forth into my independence in travel again. Since there is no extensive orientation, there's no mobility training here, I will practice tapping on my own to try to figure out how this new cane will give me more confidence. And then he said some other people, they wish to send their love and prayers. It's just amazing. He said, with these canes, we will show everyone around us that blindness never hinders anyone's goal to be a responsible citizen, and we are willing to, listen to this, to live the life we dream about. We will continue to be productive like the typical human beings in our daily endeavors. I think it's neat because people in their community are noticing that they're getting out more and they're more confident and and some of them are able to, to maybe get a job or, I think the other thing that struck me was the woman, or the person we talked with in Nigeria, and she said literally people are getting hit by cars if they don't have a cane and losing their lives. They've had 2 or 3 blind individuals who've actually died because they tried to cross the street in an area where they didn't know where they were, they couldn't feel kind of the edge, and they didn't have a cane. And so she said literally, canes save people's lives here, and as they do here. So we just want to tell you all, we are just so appreciative. We've probably received, I would say 80 to 100 in the last year or so, and it's awesome. It's incredible. And we appreciate the generosity. Some of you all have given us canes, and some of you have said you'd love to send them. If you could send them to our house. So when we get these donated canes, some of them, we clean them, some of them need a new tip. We've gotten some tips donated. We've had some people who have sent us some funds to help us with shipping, because shipping to other countries is expensive, but we just appreciate it so much, and it's amazing because even if we get pieces, we can put some of those pieces together, and Jimmy will take the handle off of one and put it on another donated cane, and it's a working cane that can go to someone who doesn't have one. So it's awesome. It's very, very exciting, and I find myself, I'm tired, but just almost feeling a little emotional just because it's amazing to see what we can all do, and it's because of people here and people in Canada even who are giving a cane that's used, but it can still be used again. So we are just grateful to everyone who's donated, and continue to send if you'd love to send those to us, and again next year, and when we have our meetings, if you guys want to gather a group together and send them. But we'll put them to good work. We'll send them to Nigeria or South Africa, and I think we actually have a load that's going to go to some children in, is it China?
An orphanage in China.
Yeah, so we're going to send our next week. So we took broken pieces and we made them smaller, and Courtney's going to restring them, and they'll be going to children. So isn't that exciting? John Harris, do you have a question?
Yeah, Wendy, I forgot, would you, could somebody tell, I've checked out, would somebody look in room 404? I brought 2 of those canes to give.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks, John Harris. 2 more. Great. Anyway, thank you so much. We give, sometimes things to like thrift stores or good, when we don't need a pair of shoes. But a cane, if it's just gently used, or maybe, you've grown into you want a different size or different, in your experience, it's so awesome to see how we can use those again. So thank you again so much. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Wendy and Jimmy. We appreciate what you both are doing. And we definitely need to think of ways how we can help you with that. Melissa Smith, are you in the house?
No, she's not.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to give the report. Which report are you looking for?
The audit committee report, financial audit.
Melissa texted this morning and said she was in bed with a migraine. This is 2 years in a row she's had a migraine and NFB convention, so she's not coming back. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, okay, I can't get this. Okay, the audit committee consisted of Melissa Smith, who was chairing it, me, Sharon Treadway, and Curtis Tillman. And I will read this statement. It says, "We, the Audit Committee, met the 6th day of April 2018 and reviewed the financial records for the NFB of Tennessee. Using general auditing procedures, we find all records for 2017 to be accurate and in order. This is the Audit Committee report. This is the 8th day of April 2018, submitted by the Audit Committee."
All right, thank you. Any questions for Terry? It's okay, give him a hand. Thank you, Terry. All right, let's do a door prize.
I have a $25 gift certificate for Lyft.
I take it.
A bag of stuff. And it goes to, I'm here. Me too. Danny Tucker, right here.
All right.
Good job. What'd you say?
One more,
Evan?
okay?
Okay.
I've got a $25 gift card for Outback, a $25 gift, certificate for Lyft.
What?
Microwave set, and some chocolate. And it goes to Steve Quinn.
He's not here. That's Michelle's husband, so yep, he's not here.
She done won twice this morning.
I know, she's gonna be jealous. You got that chocolate?
It's a brown morning.
I know, got chocolate. Yeah.
You know, where is my Lyft gift card?
Oh, I put it over here, so we have 2 of them now.
Maybe.
You want to do another?
If you want to, if we got them, let's spend them.
I've got a set of tumblers, $100 gift certificate. That's mine. Oh, my.
Ooh, yay.
And some brownies.
And some brownies.
Hear the what?
And it goes to Regina Williams.
Yeah.
All right, so Evelyn, you're up next for the treasurer's report. Let's give Evelyn a big, huge hand. All these door prizes and things that make us so happy. She gathers all these things up with help from others.
I'm not quite happy yet, I'm just.
Awesome. I'm pretty sure me and Evelyn, we came on the board at the same time.
We did, same here. Thanks to Mr. Williams.
He did get a
Okay,
thing,
the National Federation of the Blind of Tennessee Financial Report for January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017. Income, contributions, $8,889.30. Membership dues, $245. Total income, $9,134.30. Expenses, awards and grants, $5,500. Supplies, $1,622.64. Telephone, $263.94. Printing and publications, $109.40. Travel, $4,401.33. Conferences, conventions, and meetings, $10,707.01. Professional fees, $3,040. Others, $1,577.17. Total expenses, $27,221.49. Net income, $16,087.19. Net assets, beginning of year was $46,000. $485.14. Change in net assets, $18,087.19. Net assets end of year, $28,397.95. And our audit report comes from, the national office.
Thank you, Evelyn. Does anyone have any questions? All right, good job.
All right.
Congratulations, almost done.
Last treasurer's report for a while, right? Up next, Jimmy, if you would step to a microphone, or actually, you might have one over there next to you.
I got one.
Jimmy's gonna tell us a little bit about what the website's been, doing this year. It's looking good.
All right. Have you guys been on NFB-TN.org lately?
I'm on it right now, Jimmy.
Are you on it right now? Good job, Mr. Brown. So we really want to give a shout out to Tyler Butler, who's been working very hard on the website. He has tried to simplify it a little bit, make it a little easier to navigate and easier to locate various information on our chapters. We've been updating chapter information, division information, contact information. He has a spot on the website where we can post news and information, nationally from the NFB, and a place where chapters can actually post news and events that are occurring in their area. So it's got a lot of great information on there. Be sure to check it out. Be sure to check it too, if, as far as your chapters and divisions, just if you see anything that needs to be updated or changed, to let us know so we can do that. One thing that I know the national chapter has started, and some of the other chapters may want to do so also, is that we post our agenda and our minutes on the website so that people can look to that, and refer to that during the meeting, before the meeting, and after the meeting. And that way other chapters too can kind of see what's going on and what's happening in other cities. So we want to really thank Tyler Butler for the hard work he's done. He's continuing to work on it and make it better every day. So be sure to check it out. If there's anything that you see that you think that we need to add or adjust or change, just reach out to us, and we appreciate your feedback. Thank you.
Question.
Yes.
Could you repeat that website, please?
It is www.nfb-tn.org. Back to you, Mr. Brown.
Question.
Oh, question.
This Tara,
Hey, Tara.
you stated that you, post your chapter minutes on the website.
Yes.
Is that the full thing, so you post certain things, certain items that you post, you don't post the full things?
We do a simplified version of the minutes. Yeah.
But some things are confidential, right, that's discussed in the meeting? So how,
Well, there's
No, they're actually public.
They're all public,
It's
yeah,
public.
they're all public.
Okay.
Yeah, it's public, but
Okay.
yeah. A good question. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
Will the state, this is lesson how, will the state constitution be on the website?
I don't think it is on there, but that would be a great thing that we could add to that. So thanks
Will
for,
you please add that to it?
we will. Okay, if that's, I don't see why we shouldn't. So definitely, we will provide that feedback to
I've
Tyler.
been rehearsing this line last night, Leslie. It was something like, I'm not state president, but if you talk to Christina Cliff. So, yeah, definitely after the meeting, on the way home, talk to Christina. It'll be no problem to get that concept.
It'll be on there expeditiously.
Yes.
You said about the local chapters,
Yes.
will it be possible that we can have the constitution of the local chapters added on?
I don't see what, I think that'd be another good question to talk to Christina, but I don't see why not. But
As long as we don't, put a huge burden on our webmaster who works
Right.
for free.
Right, because we do try to keep it, simple and as informational, so trying to balance that so that people can find, the information that they need. But yeah, those are definitely some good points. The other thing I wanted to mention about what Tyler's done, you guys were able to register online this year. That was pretty cool, right? And pay online. Yeah. And it was pretty accessible, so Tyler worked really hard on that, and Tyler does a really good job that if we see something we need to add or change, he does it like within minutes, if not a couple hours, so he's on top of it. So we will definitely, discuss those things that you brought up, and changes will be made. Yes?
That's John.
Hey, John.
Instead of putting under comment, maybe you could put, wow, my mouth's big enough usually. You could put the,
You said that.
maybe, yeah, I know. You can maybe just put the web address, the address of the other, chapters, and then the person could go to that chapter's address and look at the web instead of trying to put the whole website up there.
Not all
That may be an angle.
One thing that might be a good alternative to this is, trying to make sure that each chapter has a Facebook page.
Yeah.
And then on that Facebook page, that chapter can put their constitution, and we can have a link from our website to those Facebook pages.
Yeah, good thoughts, guys. And keep them coming, that's why we want the feedback.
Well, I do know that putting the minutes up from the Nashville meetings has got some phone calls, right? It's generated some interest, is that right, too?
Yeah, definitely. It has. People have seen what we're doing. They see that we're active and that we're involved in the community, and so it has sparked interest, and people want to come and check it out. So it's definitely been very helpful and beneficial to our growth as a chapter.
Any more questions? All right. Thanks, Jimmy, and if Tyler's listening, give him a big hand clap.
Yeah.
He's probably on the road right now, could be listening in, you never know. So, yep, Tyler came all the way from Indiana. Okay, up next is our chapter division report. So if you are a chapter president and you are still here, not headed back home, go ahead and come on up and give us a report. Tell us about what's been going on this year. Evelyn? Door press? Man. Oh, she just left. They would have won two. Jeremy and Bob. Yeah. $50 Amazon. So Joy, you got to tell us about you and Tyler eating dinner and hanging out a lot. What's up? Good job, Evelyn.
That's it, that's all we got.
All right, who's up first?
Wow.
I can go first, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Jimmy.
And just a quick announcement for our Nashville chapter members those who are taking on demand back to your home after the meeting. Try to be in the lobby by 12:15 and have all your stuff, and we will, of course, we're not gonna leave you, but just try to be down there and we'll get you all loaded up and ready to go. Also, if there are any vendors left, if you have any prizes, the vendors are going to draw names for the gifts that they are giving out as well. So if there's some here that would like to give those to Evelyn, please do so. And if not, they will maybe contacting you, because you may have won something. So, wanted to give the national chapter report. We are the host chapter this year, and it's been such an honor to have you guys in the Nashville area. Hope you guys have enjoyed the convention.
Yes.
I really want to do a shout out to our convention committee who worked really hard to plan everything and try to foresee all the plans and everything that's involved, all the pieces. And so I really want to express appreciation to all those that were involved in the planning. I want to do a shout out to Peabody College in Vanderbilt, who had over 10 students volunteering. Local Bible students, and we had many other volunteers, and we really appreciate it. Our vendors, we had 24 vendors this year. Yeah, so it was pretty awesome. As far as the chapter, we've definitely seen some growth. We have several new members within the past year, so we've definitely grown. And we've received a lot of feedback just about the positivity and the warmth in our chapter. So that's just been really wonderful. We have 10 new first-timers at our convention this year. And a few of them haven't even been to a chapter meeting yet, so this is like their first taste of the Federation. So we're so glad that they were able to come. And part of the reason why we were able to do that was through some great fundraising for our fundraising committee. We had a chili cook-off. You may have heard President Brown mention that.
Braille's hot.
Braille's hot.
Chili cook-off.
Yes, and because of that, we were able to raise enough money to be able to assist anyone in our chapter that needs assistance with transportation. So we cover a one-way cost. And first-timers, we cover their full transportation. And so, yeah, so we're able to do that. And that's been very beneficial, because we had several people that may have kind of been hesitant about coming or been worried about transportation. And what we do is we say, we take care of it. We'll pick you up and bring you back at no cost. And we've seen that benefit our chapter and grow. We also instituted a tech grant in which we help provide funding for people in the community to pay for assistive technology. So that's been awesome as well. And so our chapter, I really want to do a shout out to our chapter. Do we have any chapter members out there?
Yeah!
Woo! Yeah!
Oh, also, yeah, thank you. And because of the fundraising, also as a chapter, I would like to present this to the affiliate. We are going, as the national chapter, we're going to donate $500 to the Bell Academy.
All right!
We appreciate everyone's hard work. It's just an honor and a privilege, and I just love my family. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Do you have the check now?
She said check.
Check for what?
Check, please.
Do you have the check in hand?
Do you have it?
It's coming to you.
You look closest to the mic, I'm just saying. Right there.
Yeah. Great.
Oh, thanks. I was trying to get some nice. So, we bring, of course, greetings from the Memphis chapter. We have our largest group here. Make some noise. I know y'all might be asleep, but y'all are in here. I know y'all been going since some of us got limited sleep playing spades. We had a grand old time fellowshipping together. Yes. I think we got an hour or two sleep Friday night, and maybe 3 or 4 last night, so.
Troopers.
Yes, they gonna sleep on the way home, some of them, I think, so just hold it snoring down just a bit. But we do have great things going on in the Memphis chapter. We're running around 33 members. As a board, we did some strategic planning, and one of our engagements for this year is to make a serious effort to get into our school system and our colleges, to begin recruiting the next generation of federations to bring them into our movement. That was one of the priorities our board set during strategic planning. Another one of our strategic planning goals is to continue to improve our member outreach. That's through getting different forms of promotional materials, such as brochures. We started our Facebook page, and I've got Curtis Tillman working with me to keep that going, as well as hopefully continuing to get publicity in our city in terms of news coverage and PSAs. We have had a great relationship with our vocational rehab office, even though we did give them hell yesterday. Just because you are a member doesn't mean you're not going to get it back. But they have been really good on coming to chapter meetings, that we have instituted a policy of trying to bring more speakers in on topics that would relate to our chapters. So we've got a great chapter going. We are looking forward, as Nashville I'm sure is, to celebrating our 50th anniversary next year in January. We just got through celebrating MLK in 50 years of his passing. And we look forward to celebrating 50 years. One of the reasons our chapter was founded was there was this thing called the Great Civil War. I'm not talking about the one of Northern aggression that sometimes I hear the South talk about. That was before our time. But this one was the Civil War within the Federation that led to the creation of that other organization that shall not be named. And in Tennessee at the time, you can imagine in the 50s and early 60s, segregation was a prominent thing. White and black, and anything that wasn't white didn't mix together very well. And there, in Memphis, in the late 60s, came a push to include African Americans into the Federation, into the Tennessee affiliate. And a young man, or middle-aged maybe at that time, named Kenneth Jernigan, came to Tennessee, and he was scoping it out for the current president at the time. And he helped us to organize Memphis and then expanded it to Nashville into the affiliate we see today. So we were founded on inclusion and civil rights, and that's something that the Memphis chapter will always stand for. So thank you guys for making it a great year, and we look forward to 2018, 2019, another good year.
Thank you, Christina.
Right in front of you.
Yeah, the history of that's really interesting. Apparently, Dr. Jernigan had an opportunity to start our affiliate, but he was afraid that that particular group was going to be not inclusionary of all races and people. And so he decided not to go with that group of people and turned into what we are today, which I think is a good mixture of loving family and not really divided. So I congratulate you for that. But it's an interesting history of our organization. Who is next?
I am.
They're all afloat.
Self.
This is Greg Self. I'm the president chapter of the Volunteer in Knoxville, Maryville area. We have currently 7 members, and all of them 100% participation last year. We participated in the Be a Friend conference last October. We had around 1,000 people show up, and we just showed people how legally blind and visually impaired people get along in the world, because a lot of people don't know about Braille and large print, and they was amazed how we do things. So that is something we've done now 2 years in a row, and have already been invited to it again this year. It's in Knoxville at the local park. If anybody
I'm just going to donate $30 to the Bell Family.
All right.
Thank you, Quinn.
I don't know, I was asking, I don't know.
Okay.
Who's got
Well,
one?
I don't know which one's.
Go ahead.
Ladies first.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
You are fine.
Hi, I'm Joyce Joy Gooch. Some people know me, Joyce Joy. but I answer also to Hey You. We are in Northeast Tennessee. We are a very new chapter. We've only been up and going for about 4 years. And that was actually my first introduction to the NFB, was when Randy Atkins and Courtney Williams wanted to, and James, wanted to start a chapter in our area. So that was actually the first introduction that I had with the NFB, because I had no idea that it even existed. So as a blind person growing up, I struggled. So what we are doing right now in our chapter with Stuart McLean is actually trying to organize a Parents of Blind Children group.
Yay!
So he is starting now to reach out to different parents, and hopefully we will get that up and going a little bit later this year, because there's so many children in our area who don't know about the NFB, who don't know exactly how to navigate all the roadblocks that kids can encounter. But hopefully with the guidance of Stuart and the help of the parents and getting them educated on what is available, and to know that the kids can live the life that they want. They're their next generation. That's who is going to be our leaders. So when we educate the children, they're going to be more competent to help and lead our country. But that is one of the things that our chapter is working on, and also doing some fundraisers that's coming up. We're going to do a Dining in the Dark event. So, and that's definitely going to help our community outreach and letting the community know about us. So definitely have a lot of the media going on with that. So that's going to be a big help. Also doing Facebook pages, live streaming, getting the word out literally about the NFB around the world. So because a lot of people don't know about the NFB. So trying to get that information out there as well. Also, hopefully a little bit later on this year, well, do I talk about the?
Nah, not yet.
Okay. Okay, so that'll come up a little bit later. But, just trying to bring in new members. We've had 4 new members in the last couple of months. And one of those is a young child she's visually impaired, but also has some other special needs. So helping with that family as well. So, we are a young chapter, but we are going strong and going to finish strong this year. So,
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the report from the Chattanooga Scenic City chapter. I am not the president, but the president is not here. He was actually doing an expo this weekend in Chattanooga. Had an exhibit set up down there. And so our chapter, I'll be honest with you, we've been struggling a little bit. Our numbers are down. We gotta get that back up. We have our core of 6 to 8 people that attend regularly, and we've got to get that back up into double digits. We have a new president that we just elected. His name is Byron Metter, and he's got some ideas on things that he wants to accomplish. So we're going to be working with him and trying to support him and to build the chapter back up. We did do one fundraiser this year. We had it was sort of interesting. Our president at the time worked at the Signal Center, and the Signal Center had a program for Christmas program for toys for children with disabilities, all disabilities, and so we had a dog. It was a dog with a sort of like a Saint Bernard with a barrel, and you could put money in the barrel, and this was placed in some different offices, and employees passed the stuffed animal around and the dog had an NFB T-shirt on that we made, and so and it we raised about $300, which we gave to the Signal Center for toys for children. So that's pretty much what's going on in the Scenic City chapter. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Half my fudge is gone since I went up there, I want you to know that.
I have a whole box of chocolate if anybody wants. It's not free, but you come up and buy it for $1. I don't have to lug it home. Did someone say for $1? Yeah, I'll buy it. You bought that $1 a bar. Oh, $1 a bar? Yeah, $1 bar, not a box. $1 bar. How much is the box?
All right.
60.
That's all? We're good.
Shan, you're up next.
We can talk all day. Hi guys, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Shannon Hansen. I'm president of the student division. Like Stones River, the student division is ever changing. Our membership fluctuates a lot, and it's been somewhat of a rough year for us. I am now a full-time student at MTSU, so I've been fortunate in the aspect of getting to devote a lot of my time to the students at that chapter. So these upcoming 2 years, I hope to be able to do the same and to build our membership and become a stronger division throughout the state.
Good job.
All right, Terry, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to lose the rest of that fudge because you're up next with resolutions.
That's no reason.
James, not so fast.
Nope. Oh, we got some more.
Not so fast.
Oh, I left. Oh, shit. I always forget about Shay.
You're so rude.
It's discrimination, isn't it? It
It is discrimination.
That's why I got you
I
last.
hate those guy dogs. My dog will probably bite me. No, there's a lectin right here, Shane.
That would be good.
Next break.
No, it would not.
Hello. Okay. I am Shay Welch, and I'm the president of the Tennessee Association of Guide Dog Users. I feel like I'm not that short, but I'm standing on my tippy toes. But we have had a great, fun year. I've been able to grow a little bit with our membership, which has been great. And of course, had a fantastic meeting on Friday. We had the room, I think, completely full. I think we're out of chairs, which was pretty exciting. We also had, oh, thank you. You're welcome. I'm standing on flat feet now. Okay, but we also had representatives from 5 different guide dog schools from across the country, which was super exciting. But that has been kind of our big goal for the year, was just forming a really great relationship with the organizations that support our membership. So we had a really great conference call in January where 9 schools were represented, and we got to have an amazing conversation about the guide dog community in our country and the issues that we face, and kind of just band together about some of those issues. So we are so excited about that and hoping to do more conference calls like that in the future. We're also working on our website, so that will be hopefully updated soon. Please go on Facebook and like our page. We're Tennessee Association of Guide Dog Users. Tagged you on Facebook. And let's see, what else do I have to say? Fundraiser on Friday. It went great. Thank you for anyone who came and supported us and Tabs. I believe we made a grand total of somewhere between $500 and $600, so that's pretty exciting. So thank you. we're excited to kind of look forward to the future and see how we're going to use those funds to support our people. And thanks for your support.
Now resolutions.
Yeah, how many more door prizes do we have?
I think we're through. We're done.
Oh, wow, we're flat out. Okay. Mr. Brown?
Hey.
You're way ahead of
President Brown,
Yes.
can we do a vendor drawing?
Can you do what?
Vendor drawing, is that?
Or if you want to wait till the end.
Oh, we can wait till the end?
Yeah, let's wait till the
Yes,
end.
sir.
Oh, we do have one more door prize, I forgot.
Go ahead, Terry.
Okay, I got to put my Scenic City hat back on real fast. I forgot to say that the Scenic City chapter has already handed Evelyn a check for $100. So, okay, the Resolutions Committee report. We only have one resolution this year, we did not have people submit resolutions. We normally take the issues from Washington Seminar and convert those to resolutions on the state level. There was only one new issue this year having to do with the ADA. The other two we had passed resolutions last year about, so we didn't recycle those. The ADA issue has sort of been resolved for the time being, so we didn't do a resolution on that. The only resolution that we do have brought forth by the vendors, which has to do with the rest area commercialization. You've heard a lot about this week. So I will read that resolution to you. This is National Federation of the Blind of Tennessee, Resolution 2018-1. Whereas the Randolph-Shepard program provides entrepreneurial opportunities for blind persons to manage food services in government buildings, and whereas the Kennelly Amendment to the Surface Transportation Act affords state Randolph-Shepard programs the exclusive right to provide vending services at interstate rest areas, and whereas currently state Randolph-Shepard programs provide vending services at almost 1,100 interstate rest areas across the country, and whereas approximately 600 of these rest areas are operated by 400 blind entrepreneurs, and whereas in Tennessee 12 blind entrepreneurs earn their living providing vending services at the state's welcome centers, and whereas the Tennessee Business Enterprise Program uses third-party vendors to provide vending services at rest areas and uses the commissions received to pay for the health insurance coverage for the blind vendors, and whereas the Trump administration has proposed commercializing the rest areas and allowing private sector companies to provide food services at these sites as part of its infrastructure plan, and whereas rest area commercialization could cost approximately 400 blind entrepreneurs their businesses and seriously impact the financial viability of several state programs that rely on third-party commissions. Therefore, be it resolved by the National Federation of the Blind of Tennessee, gathered in convention on this, the 8th day of April, 2018, in Smyrna, Tennessee, that this organization go on record opposing rest area commercialization. And be it further resolved that the President send this resolution to each Tennessee member of the United States House of Representatives and to both U.S. Senators, urging them to oppose rest area commercialization. So that is the report from the Resolutions Committee. Do we need to approve the report first? So I will make the motion for approval of the report. You're not approving the resolution, just approving the report.
Second.
So I'll go ahead and do it for you. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now, do you want to handle the passing the resolution?
Sure. All right, we've heard the resolution. Any questions about the resolution? Pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. All right. Motion to approve.
Second.
And second HK. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed say no. Motion carries. Resolution is passed. And Terry, the vendors, all of us will be trying to work on making sure that the president's budget, so forth, is not passed in that regard. So, thank you, everybody. We've got some customary motions, and Evan's going to be proud of me, or She always wants me to end early, and I never really do. Do what? Well, not yet. We're getting close, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We have some things to take care of. Number one is our delegate and to National Convention and our alternate delegate. I would recommend to the Assembly that Christina be our delegate and Terry Smith as our first vice be our alternate delegate. Can we have a motion?
Motion. Second, or how does it?
Yep.
You got it.
We got a motion and a second.
Yep.
Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Motion carries. We have our delegates. And that is assuming, Christina, you are going to convention?
Correct.
Okay.
I already got my ticket.
All right, excellent. Up next is a question of convention next year. And so next year is our 50th anniversary. The idea has been pitched to some members of the board to have our convention next year in Gatlinburg. That sounds very popular. That sounds like a popular idea. And so, we normally do rotate, to, East Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, West Tennessee, and so next year is a rotation, which we would typically do in Knoxville. So I want to open up the floor for a second. Anyone who wants to talk, I do know that Joyce she actually has, I think, dropped some numbers to quite a few hotels there. And I think Greg has dropped some numbers for Knoxville too. So just want to open up the floor for those two to kind of tell us about what they've seen so far.
Okay. Greg and I actually spoke this morning, and we are going to do a joint. Okay. We are going to do a joint chapter for the convention, so it will not only be the Northeast Tennessee chapter, but we are going to partner with the Knoxville chapter to bring that to Gatlinburg. Also we have a couple of different options in Gatlinburg. We also have one in Pigeon Forge. The Music Road Hotel is in Pigeon Forge. It's a very nice venue. However, if you do want to go out and explore the city, you do need to take the trolley. But that trolley actually stops right in front of the hotel. Okay. The convention space in that hotel is, right now as it stands, is slightly out of our budget. The room rates are going to be $110 a night, and that does include a full breakfast. Okay, now the two hotels in Gatlinburg is the Glenstone Lodge, which is on Wilderness Way. That's 2/3 of a mile from City Center. The trolley does stop there, so it's just a short trolley ride down to the center of the city. The next option is Black Bear Inn and Suites, which is right on the strip, and that was formerly the Clarion. And if you're familiar with Gatlinburg, it's just right, literally just right near the Gatlinburg Needle. So the rooms there is $99 a night. I'm still going to negotiate with them. They're trying to charge a $15 per night parking fee. So that could probably be negotiated out.
Wow.
Also,
Well, I believe not much.
but the convention space is they're wanting to charge $250 for the entire week. That's set up, clean up, everything, and change over for the banquet. So that is a very good deal. The Glenstone Lodge, let me go back to that for just a moment, is $99 a night. The convention space is $250 per room.
What?
Yeah, so, and I will say this, that is not my first choice. I love the people there, the sales manager is wonderful. However, the bathrooms in the hotel are extremely small. Very, very small, just extremely small. But the Black Bear Inn is sweet.
How small are they?
You can stand in the bathroom, hold your arms out and touch both walls.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, they are
So you'll have to
extremely
be skinny,
small.
yeah.
You know, as blind people, we fall a lot. So at least we won't have too far to fall.
Exactly, exactly.
Right on the way down, actually. Wouldn't get a walker in too big.
Well, we're not going to make a decision today, I don't believe, but we're going to pitch these ideas to the board and see what comes up. But it seems to be a very popular idea of having our convention in a place where we've never had it before, in conjunction with our 50th anniversary. So, sounds like a nice idea. We're going to make some decisions probably pretty soon about this. And let's go ahead and do a door prize or the rest of the door prizes.
I got one.
We've got one.
One more.
I know. I'm short. I got short arms. Alrighty. Thanks to our national representative, Jeannie Massey. And by the way, give her a big hand for sticking with us. She's been great in supporting our affiliate, not only through her MIC pledge, but also by donating some Bell raffle tickets to a deserving person who wins it. She donated 2 of those, so that'll give you 2 opportunities to get to next year's state convention, wherever it shall be. And because I'm such a generous soul, I'm going to give 10 bars of our world's finest chocolate with almonds. So you have a possible hotel stay, and you can snack on chocolate all the way home. So Miss Evelyn, can you do a couple draw a name? She's not in here. Okay.
Crystal?
Hang on, let me see if her name's over here real quick.
Just make something up, Crystal.
Somebody tell me the loudest, and if I hear it, I'll. No, that was not it. That was not what I was asking. But I appreciate the noise.
Give that girl some chocolate. She's just like holding us hostage now. She does that again.
So the question is, she got them? All right, I was going to have a trivia answer, but never mind.
What name?
All right.
Christy Bingham.
Not
No,
here.
no, not here.
And I could be drawing from her list of some of the people that are not here, so no, I don't know. Desna Civic.
Not here.
Nope.
Not here. Ellie Carson.
Not here.
Not here.
That must be the list.
I'll just ask my question, how's that?
Yep.
Okay, so the question is whoever says it the loudest. Who's here?
I've got it.
Say it. Miss Carson there? No.
Okay, Steve Quinn?
No.
Yeah, we're gonna go with a
Trivia question.
trivia question.
Okay. So whoever knows it, say it the loudest so I can hear you. In what city or town, whatever you want to call it, was the National Federation of the Blind founded in 1940?
Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Go HK!
Our human encyclopedia.
All right.
Is
Hope
this
you're
all-
not
is that
on
all?
diet. No, I think Jimmy has one. I'll share it with someone.
Sure. All right, so one of the vendors for this weekend was Custom Cane. Custom Cane is giving a brand new customized cane. Includes the tip, cane shield protection that will protect the cane for years from wear and tear. And we did the drawing this morning, and the winner is Sheila Hansen. Congratulations, Sheila.
Like the folding cane or like the straight ones?
Whichever one you want.
Whichever she wants.
Oh.
Is that all, Jim?
That's it, thank you.
Okay. No more door prizes, that's it? We're all out.
Oh.
Interesting trivia. So this is something, what was it, 1952 was Dr. Jernigan's, I think it was 52, his first convention that he actually planned, and national convention that he hosted in Nashville.
Yeah.
And so one day I was actually listening to Dr. Tenbrook's banquet address where Dr. Jernigan introduced him. And it was on WSMV, which, you know, is the radio for the Grand Ole Opry. We're all pretty familiar with that. WSM, I'm sorry. And, you know, we grew up listening to that and heard the Grand Ole Opry. So it was actually broadcasted live, and so I was really interested in it. I knew that, you know, our governor had attended and was giving an address to the banquet. And so it said it was at the Andrew Jackson Hotel. And, you know, I work downtown, and I'm like, there's no Andrew Jackson Hotel. You know, where was that? And so I, you know, Wikipedia, and I find it. And it actually is in the same location where I work. So the Andrew Jackson building was torn down, and a new building was built, and that's the building I work in. Which is now known as TPAC, Tennessee Performing Arts Center, or the James K. Polk building. So now you know where National Convention was held here in Tennessee, and how that kind of transpired. But it was kind of ironic, and oh gosh, I sit in the same place every day where we have National Convention. So kind of weird. All right, so just another interesting story. A couple years ago, I gave President Riccobono a gift. My dad is an artist, and I asked him to paint what I entitled Ghosts of Conventions Past. And so if you go in the Jernigan Institute, you will see a picture of Dr. Maurer holding up his gavel, and President Riccobono actually hitting that gavel and closing out the convention where Riccobono was first elected president. And so I got my dad to paint that picture, and also to have a picture in black and white, separate from the color picture, one of the ghosts of Dr. Tenbrook on one side, and one of the ghosts of Dr. Jernigan on the other side. So I call it Ghost of Conventions Past, but I want to kind of recreate that moment, because we're about to close out convention, and I'm going to pass my gavel that I used for the past 6 years and give it to Christina. So Christina, if you come here, and we are going to adjourn the meeting. There you go, Christina. There's your gavel. And we look forward to seeing what you got this year. You're going to give it your all, I know.
I am.
You're going to give us your best shot, as JP would say.
Yeah, best shot.
All right, everybody, it was a great convention. We love you guys so much. And, you know, hopefully we'll see everyone before next year. But if we don't, we'll see you, I guess, in Gatlinburg.
All right.
Be safe.
Oh, we gotta still get your new version of it.
We do. sound a lot like it.
I never knew. You know, I hadn't been coming because my brother had been coming.
No, and we're just, I've got a box of almond milk chocolate you can finish selling. There's 50 bars left.
I can sell them.
Okay, here you go. Here you go. There's an envelope in the box.
All right, you sure it's 50 in here?
Yeah, there's 50 in there because it comes with 6 and I just got 10.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. No problem.
If you can, just bring the money to chapel meeting.
Girl, you know, I'm going to take this to school. I'm going to get rid of it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hold on one second. She's filling out her stubs real quick.
You need to go upstairs?
No, I got all my stuff.
Your stuff?
I mean, I got just the suitcase is the only thing I got to get. Did you already bring it downstairs?
Yeah, you must be assuming I go bring it.
Well, no, I mean, if you hadn't, I would have went up there with you and got it.
Well, you want to make sure go check one more time before. Make sure we don't let anything.
I mean, I had it. Well, okay. I know I had everything
I'll
already.
find my book.
Where was it?
It's in another bag, I think.
Oh, yeah, I know I had everything in my suitcase, but we can.
Ooh, it's warm outside.
Now it's too warm, huh?
I got a jacket.
But the other van's not pulling off till 11, so we got a little time.
How come?
Well, because they have to have time to go do what you just said, get their stuff or check out or use the bathroom.
Chrissy, do you have any little problem with Flint?
Not really. Why?
She said original you was going to reimburse the bus from her.
Remember I told you what I told you?
Yeah, but you know, you make her lose money, see.
No, Mom, she didn't lose money.
I don't know what's the deal with.
Why? She said something to you?
I hope you win
No,
the
I
trip.
just-
HK.